Hey, it's Justin from CanadaWhips.ca, and in this video, we're going to learn the pinwheel. The pinwheel is a cool move where the whip is pinched in our armpit and then is spun in a circle around our body. It's caught again on our dominant side. There are four basic components to the pinwheel: the pinch, the push, the spin, and the catch. Let's break those moves down in detail. The first is the pinch. In the pinch, we start by swinging the whip outward as if we've just finished an overhead crack. Our hand is going to rotate around. We're going to bring the whip behind our body and try and lay the thong in our armpit. To do this, our hand stays up and the whip handle turns around and points at our head like that. Except instead of having it pointing up, we actually want it pointing down. So you can see the angle of the handle is pointing directly down to my armpit where I want the thong of the whip to go. One thing worth mentioning is that the amount of slack you give yourself in the pinwheel really matters. If the whip is too far away from your body, when you do the pinwheel, you're going to end up hitting the ground. If the whip is too close to your body, you're going to end up with the whip going too quickly and it'll be hard to catch. You want the whip to be a nice arm's length so that you get a nice big spin without the handle touching the ground. Step two is the push. The push is where we push our whip over our head to get that spin. The push is really the most important part of the move because when we do the push, if we push too far forward or too far backward, so forward or backward, we're always going to end up hitting ourselves. And that's because when we do the pinwheel, the whip makes a nice parallel circle behind us. And if that circle is thrown too far forward, for example, it's just not going to line up properly and we're not going to have the whip landing where we want it to land. Same thing, if we throw too far backward, now the whip's coming up on our front, which we don't want. You're going to want a nice straight push for part two. I like to line this up by using my bicep. I'll put my bicep at the back of my head. So you can see my bicep is hitting the back of my head. That helps me line up a nice straight push so that the whip follows a straight path behind my body. Step three is the spin. The spin is when the whip is traveling upwards and you need to give it a little bit of force to get it to go around all the way. Once you feel the whip finishing its path downward and starting its path upward on your other side, you need to shimmy your body a little bit. So I like to dip my hips, bring them over, and then lift up my armpit like this. Whoop. And that helps give the whip a little bit more momentum so it can do a full circle behind you. I find that my armpit kind of goes down, pushes in, and then lifts up. It can also help to bend your knees and bounce your whole body. If you find while you're doing the spin, the whip is hitting you in the calf, in the butt, on the other side, it can help to move your body slightly so that you clear the path for the whip. For example, if when you throw, you find you're always hitting yourself in the front calf, try and turn your body away from that calf so that when you throw, you're clearing a path for the whip. Step four is the catch. The catch happens on our dominant side at waist height. Our palm is facing down and the whip handle should come up and land in our hand. To make this catch happen, get into your position, and once the whip is spun around you, the full rotation, look down at your dominant side at the hip. You should see the handle come up here. Have your hand wide open and ready, and ideally the handle will fall right into your hand. Just like that. Now don't worry if you catch the whip pretty high up on the handle. Because since the thong is still pinched in your other armpit, you can slide your hand down to the knot before you let go and then continue cracking. Now that we've covered how to do the pinwheel, let's go over some variations. The half pinwheel is a pinwheel where the whip only does a half circle around your body. It's thrown and caught without an extra rotation. A double pinwheel is a pinwheel where the whip rotates twice around your body instead of once. As I'm sure you can guess, a triple pinwheel would be 3 rotations, a quadruple pinwheel would be 4 rotations, and you can keep going from there. Another variation is the pinwheel finisher, where instead of catching the pinwheel, the handle actually lands on your shoulder. And finally, there's the reverse pinwheel, where the whip rotates the opposite direction behind your body. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. If you want to learn more about whips and whip cracking, check out our website at CanadaWhips.ca. And if you want to support more content like this and see behind the scenes footage, extra tutorials, and more cool stuff, please consider supporting me on Patreon, because I do this all out of my own time and with my own money, and I don't have a lot of either. I'll catch you later. Thanks for watching.